If your calendar is packed full of meetings, deadlines, and everyone else's priorities, but your name never shows up, I get it. That was me too. Self-care felt like something I would eventually get to, but never actually did. But last year, I made one simple shift that was a complete game changer. I started planning my self-care, not just hoping I'd get around to it, but actually scheduling it. And guess what? It actually happened. So in today's video, I'm breaking down self-care options that can fit into your life no matter your time, budget, or location. I'm Janina, and I'm all about helping you organize your life so you can reach your goals without burning out. So let's get into it. First off, let's level set so we're all on the same page. Self-care is a priority. It is not a luxury. It is a necessity to keep your mind, body, and spirit healthy and energized. And it's more important than ever. I recently read a Forbes article that said 66% of American employees are experiencing some form of burnout. 66%. And depending on your age group, it could actually be a lot higher. If you're between the ages of 18 and 24, you're likely to be experiencing burnout rates of 81% and 83% if you're between the ages of 25 and 34. That's crazy. And no matter the age group, there were a couple reasons that applied across the board for this burnout. One, having more work to complete than time to do it. Two, not having enough resources or the right tools to do your job. Three, a poor economy that's impacting your well-being at work. And four, taking on too much work due to labor shortages in your industry. No matter how you look at it, people are really stressed out these days. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that expensive spa weekends and long baths with a dozen candles are going to magically solve all your problems. They're nice, but they may just not fit into your current reality. But there are plenty of smaller, intentional things that you can do for your self-care that's not going to cause you added stress. And intentionality is key. I used to say that I would incorporate self-care on a weekly or monthly basis, but frankly, I just got busy and it would slip my mind. And all of a sudden, weeks go by or months go by, and then I realized I never did anything to take care of myself. But as soon as I actually started planning it, it happened. At the beginning of each month, I would think about what larger self-care activity I actually wanted to do, and then I would schedule it. And at the beginning of each week, I would think about what smaller self-care activities I would want to do, pick from a couple different options, and schedule those as well. And if I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, I would just add a time block to my calendar. So that time was saved and preserved for self-care. And all of a sudden, the thing that I never had time for or could never remember to do happened every single time. So the TLDR is, if it's not scheduled, it's probably not going to happen. So add it to your to-do list, mark it on your calendar, add a reminder, and set it as a high priority. Cover all your bases. Okay, let's talk about what can actually fit into these time blocks we're scheduling. I'm going to give you options that can fit into your life no matter your financial situation, your location, or the time you actually have available, so you have no excuses not to take care of yourself. These are stress-free strategies that I've used and incorporated into my life to help me take care of my mind and body. So let's get to it. Okay, let's start with some free or low-cost options for self-care. Self-care isn't just about the idea of treating yourself, it's really about supporting yourself. And you don't need to break the bank to do it. So let's start with options that are kind of entertainment type options. So I'm talking about things like YouTube and podcasts, things like that. YouTube is an excellent resource for looking at creators that do videos on yoga and meditation and stretching exercises. And if you're not as much of a visual person and more of an auditory person, then take a listen to a podcast. There's plenty of podcasters that do the exact same thing as a lot of YouTubers. Another thing that you can do if you're more within the entertainment category is go to like a matinee movie or rent a movie through a streaming service. Those are really popular right now. And if you're actually doing a self-care activity with a group of people, you're paying to rent one video, but you're not paying tickets for every single person that is a part of that group. So it's really cost effective. Another thing that you can do falls into the category of protecting your time. So this is things like turning on do not disturb or silencing your notifications or pausing Slack notifications, or this can be practicing you saying no to non-essential things. If it's not something you actually have to do and it feels really draining for you, just say no. Can also choose to get in some activity. So you can take a walk in nature. So, like walking on a trail, or if you're in the city, in a city park, those can be really calming for your mind. But also, you could also think about it on the flip side as well. If you're not looking to feel calmer and you may be looking to just feel more energized, if you are in an urban area, research shows that if you actually walk in, the streets of a city as opposed to like walking in nature, you will actually feel more energized. So, if you happen to live in an urban area, you're going to get the best of both worlds: city streets, city parks. So, other things you can do can be a little bit more creative. So, you can consider journaling or doing something like coloring books. Adult coloring books are really big now. And the coloring books and frankly the journaling can be either digital or physical. So, you can pick which option you want. And other things that you can do is choose to cook yourself a healthy meal or to take a self care day from work. Those were really big when it came to the pandemic times. And I know we're out of that right now, but if you need to take time for your mental health, please take that time. Um, the other thing that you can do, which also aligns with something related to your company, is check out your company benefits to see if there's something that they may be offering you self care related. At my company, one of our benefits is using the Calm app, which I really love. There are these sleep stories. Those are my favorite. There's these, there's a couple of sleep stories about Humphrey the cat and his adventures within London. I think it was London and Paris. And he's like constantly looking to discover new things, but he's also looking for the best places to take naps in. And I can't remember who the narrator is, but it's just really calming and it really like stops those racing thoughts in my head, which helps me go to sleep. And I love it. I sleep stories from Calm, I 100% 10 out of 10 recommend. So that's it for our low cost, no cost options. Before we hop into our location based options, if this video has given you any ideas that you feel like you can actually use, please hit that like button. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and I'll keep making it. Okay, let's talk about some ideas that you can use whether you're at home or on the go. So first off, let's tackle home. One of my favorite things to do is to create a self-care kit. So this is something that I create that's pretty much a collection of my favorite things that really, give me that sense of either energy or calm or whatever it is that I happen to be needing at that time. So this can include things like face masks, candles, journals, coloring books, puzzle books, and it doesn't just have to be physical items. It can also be digital items as well. So I also like to have ready like a self-care music playlist, but also a podcast playlist. Another thing that you can do is designate a self-care space, and you might want to put your self-care kit within this space. And pretty much your self-care space is the space that you designate where you will not do any work or anything that's going to cause you like stress and anxiety. And it's going to be that place that you just mentally, relax and reset. It kind of goes along the idea where people say to not do work while you're in bed because it makes your mind think that you should be, using your bed for work instead of sleep. And it makes it a lot harder to go to sleep. So it kind of goes along within that lines. When you're in your self-care space, your mind should automatically get that signal that says, okay, I know now we're resting. Another thing that you can do. So before, when we were talking about some low cost, no cost options, I had mentioned you can make a healthy meal. So instead of doing something where you kind of have to buy it yourself, you could try something that's a little bit more costly, not too much, but consider doing some sort of meal kit service. So I've done this before with HelloFresh, and I will typically do it more in the winter. Sometimes you want comfort food in the winter, but other times you want something to kind of like wake you up, wake up your taste buds. And HelloFresh and a lot of other meal kit delivery services, that's just one of the ones that I've used the most. I've also used other meal kit ones, but HelloFresh is the one that I tend to kind of go back to. It has a lot of variety, which I like, but there's something about it that brings just a little bit of joy, a little bit of creativity to your meal. And when I do it in the wintertime, it's really nice and really enjoyable. And I also really like the fact that I didn't have to go out to a grocery store to get the ingredients. It just kind of came to me, which is like a little bit of like a little extra, but I like it. Another option that's also a little bit of an investment. We previously talked about going for a walk in nature or in the city, but depending on your time and your work or your weather, that might be harder to do for some people than others. I live in the Northeast, we have really bad weather, and I work from home. So, one thing that I've chosen to do is invest in a walking pad, which has really kind of been a game changer. It's a really great way to get in some steps and move your body and get in some exercise during a time when you would probably be really sedentary. And the last option is planning an at home beauty day. If you've got a Sephora near you, or any other store that has, self-care items, you can pick up face masks and items to do manicures and pedicures and hair masks and, whatever beauty looks like to you. It's a way to get that luxe spa day feel. It's really tailored to you, and you get the opportunity to pamper yourself. On the go options, going to your favorite cafe or restaurant and having a really delicious lunch or dinner. You can also go to the library. If you don't, want to go to the bookstore, or maybe you feel like you are going to want to buy books and it's just going to make you feel sad because maybe you're not in a place to financially be able to afford books right now, go to the library. They're free books. It's really great. And the last idea I have for you is when you are on the go, not for a shorter period of time, but a longer one. So say you're taking a family vacation, or maybe you're on a work trip. These things can be fun, but they can also be really stressful, either because of the events that you have to do, or the people that you're around, or the fact that you might feel like you need to be on all the time. So consider, when you're in these situations, taking a little time just for yourself. Maybe you schedule some time for you to, hang out at the pool, with a book or something when you're on that family vacation. Or maybe if you're on a work trip, you schedule to go sightseeing at one point where you have just some free time, maybe for an evening. Consider taking just some me time so that you can help recenter yourself and give yourself a little bit more energy so you can push through to the finish line. And on the note of planned trips, another option that you can do, I know I said the other one was the last one, but I just thought of this one. You can also take a solo vacation as well. Like when you're on a work trip or a family vacation where you have to compromise what it is that you want to do. And always, come to a consensus with other people, or, you have no compromising at all and you're just doing whatever your schedule tells you to do for work. When you go on a solo vacation, everything is completely up to you. Where you go and where you eat and when you relax and what time you get up. So it can be a really great way to just take an extended me trip that's really all about you. Before we hop into our last category, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me, what's your favorite self-care ritual? Is it something that I mentioned or something completely different? I'd love to know. Drop it in the comments. Okay, so we've cut out the excuse for money or location being a barrier to self-care. Now let's tackle the last one, time. Let's talk about how to fit self-care in even when time feels non-existent. Okay, say you've only got 1 minute. I've got 3 options for you. 1, mini meditations or deep breathing. You can just close your eyes, take a deep breath, hold it for 3 counts, and then let it out. Second option, socialization. You can consider calling a friend or a family member just to say hi. It can be really quick, or even quicker than a call, consider a text. And the third option is drinking a glass of water. People really underestimate the benefits that hydrating your body can give you. So if you only have a minute, consider adding in one of these 3. So say you have 10 minutes instead, 3 options for you is 1, guided meditation. I mentioned the Calm app earlier. They actually do have some guided meditation. So if you're interested, check it out. Second one is dancing it out to your favorite song. This is really awesome. And with 10 minutes, you can dance it out to like maybe 2.5 songs, maybe 3. And the third one is brain dumping your thoughts into a journal. This can be digital or physical, but it can be really great to just get those thoughts out of your head. And if you have 30 minutes for self-care, here are 3 options for you as well. 1, take yourself a tech-free walk. 2, cook yourself something both nourishing and delicious. And 3, plan your upcoming week with intention. Yes, planning can be a form of self-care as well, one that's all about honoring your time and prioritizing what's most important to you. And that's it. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas for some self-care options that you can start to incorporate into your daily life, and maybe you're already adding some into your schedule. Because the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup, and making time for yourself isn't extra, it's essential. And speaking of making time for you, check out this video next, which is all about how to take better breaks that help you refuel and refocus. So make sure you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're ready to prioritize yourself without feeling guilty, make sure to subscribe. This channel is all about designing a life that supports your goals and your well-being. Until next time, bye!